Hey, you are live.
Okay, so we have the Masque of the Red Death by
Is there anything you like this party?
No.
Mrs. Butcher.
Miss Butcher.
So, the characters in the story, the main character in The Masque of the Red Death is Prince Prospero, a caring and loving friend who lets people live in his castle to protect them from the Red Death disease. One night, he throws a masquerade for everyone to attend. The other characters that we have in the story are the huge group of friends that the prince has over in the Phantom with parentheses.
Okay, so the setting, the story takes place in Prince Prospero's castle abbey, where he is having a masquerade ball with 1,000 of his closest friends. The castle abbey is a place of confinement that is located where only a few can find it. The masquerade ball takes place in 7 rooms, all different colors, all like the rooms different colors. So blue, purple, green, orange, white, violet, and black.
Okay. Alright.
So, the plot. In between the hour of 11 and midnight, the prince was walking amongst his friends, talking and laughing, when he looked over and saw a person dressed in black, covered in blood, appearing to be infected with the Red Death. He shouted to all of his friends, "Someone get him!" and his shout rang from the blue room where he was standing throughout the entire place, but no one moved. The prince then ran after the disguised man. He chased him through the blue room, through the purple room, through the green room, through the orange room, through the white room, through the violet room, and finally, once he reached the black room, he found the masked man. Throughout this time, the clock was chiming 12 times, for it was going to be midnight. On the 11th chime, the prince reached for the dagger that was on the table, and on the 12th, the prince collapsed and died.
During the time of the Red Death, many of the Prince Prospero's people were getting extremely ill. They were said to have sharp pains and sudden dizziness, and then profuse bleeding at the pores with dissolution. After you got the symptoms, they said you only have half an hour to live. With all of this craziness happening, the prince thought it would be a good time to have a dance with his friends at the abbey. And in the abbey, there were 7 rooms in all, like we said, different colors. The first one blue, the second purple, the third green, the fourth orange, and the fifth white, 6th violet, and the 7th one, final one was black. The purple was farthest to the east, the black was farthest to the west, and they were all in a line.
Okay.
The masquerade was held throughout these rooms while everyone was dancing, and the music was playing, a lot of noise and laughter. But the hour when the grandfather clock would chime, everyone would take a break from dancing and listen to the chimes. And after the chimes were done, they would continue on. I think there's 2 slides.
Yeah. The main theme for the Masque of the Red Death is that in the midst of trying to save others, we sometimes forget to save ourselves, and that we also can't save everything. In the short story, Prince Prospero is trying to save his friends from the disease that is spreading, and he doesn't realize that he was actually infected by it himself.
Oh.
In the story, there are 7 rooms in the castle that the masquerade is held in. These rooms are also a symbol of the 7 ages of man, which will be explained later. Prince Prospero running through these 7 rooms is a representation of a man going through life before he dies. And then Prince Prospero's name also has symbolism. Prospero sounds a lot like prosperity or prosperous, which means successful in material items or flourishing financially. Just like the definition of the word, the prince had everything he could ever want, only to lose it all with death.
So the 7 ages of man was actually said by Shakespeare, and it goes infancy, a schoolboy, teenager, young man, middle-aged, old man, doted, and death. How he describes it is as an infant, at first the infant kneeling, puking in the nurse's arms, then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and his shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school, and then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier full of strange oaths and bearded like a pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the doubtful reputation. Then the justice, in fair round belly, with a good cap and lid, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of his wise saws in modern instances, and so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. Last scene of all that ends with this strange eventful history, his second childishness, in mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
So you can't taste anything. See
Okay,
it.
leave it on that slide for a second.
I
So, huh?
So, I was gonna say something.
So basically,
I see online.
Never mind. No, go ahead.
Okay, so Shakespeare wrote this Seven Ages of Man list based on some ancient philosophy that he studied, and also to illustrate a point that we begin at the same place where we end. So each of these 7 stages is a representation of a certain decade, or in Shakespeare's time, if someone lived to be 70, that was quite old. So if you think about infancy, and if we were teaching this in class, I would have this worksheet that you would fill out, that you would list characteristics of each of the 7 ages of man. So infancy is the first one, and characteristics from the poem, it says mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. So infants must be taken care of. So you should probably write that down. And then the second stage is schoolboy. When you're a child, you still are taken care of mostly, but you also begin to have
Your own opinions, like you start to become a little more independent.
okay, you get a little bit of dependency, you have some responsibilities. Okay, the teenager, or it's actually called the lover from the poem. So the lover is like a lovesick teenage aged person. So if we think infancy, if we think in decades is 0 to 10, schoolboy is 11 to 20, then teenager is 21 to 30. It's the time in a man's life when he has only one thing to worry about, and that's his lust. Satiating his lust, finding a wife, doing things with your wife. Then you become a young man, and actually it's called a soldier. When you reach the age where other people are younger than you, and you like notice that, and people look up to you for the first time really ever, especially your own children. Then the justice, who has a career and a livelihood, who has something every day that is to be responsible for that is greater than himself. Then the 6th age is becoming old, like retirement age. The things that you used to be responsible for start slipping away from you. I don't know what just happened, the little spinny thing. And you
It kept frozen.
you don't have the things to do that you used to have to do. And then the last stage is called second childhood or second infancy, because at the end of your life you are back to where you began. And sans means without, so without eyes, without teeth, without taste, without everything, meaning you perish. Because right before death, you need to be cared for like an infant. You need to be fed and bathed and watered. Okay?
Okay, so just to clarify, the man that the prince saw, was he real?
No.
No, he was not real. Because the prince was infected with the Red Death and he hallucinated and he thought he saw him. And that's why no one moved when the prince told him. I was nice on like Tyrann, and it was a whole showcase.
Dude, mine was easier than that. Oh my
Dude,
god.
there's no calls out like that.
Okay.
You all on your desk.
Yeah, that's fine. Before you do that, Hold on a second.
Sup, underdog?
Hey, you can't call it underdog. That's my name.
Okay, so again, if we were teaching this out loud to the class, the chart that has the 7 ages of man would have a column that had the colors of the rooms. So when you hear the word blue, the color blue, what emotion or
Sad.
feeling? Okay, sadness, some people would say. What else does blue represent?
It's like sick.
Well, like,
Sickness,
You got the
maybe?
blues.
Baby blue, you've got the blues. What else?
You got
What other things does blue represent?
Like new.
Okay, could be new. Sky, water. Okay, then the next color is violet. No, purple. Violet's last, right?
Yeah.
Okay, purple. Purple is the color of royalty. Especially in ancient times, purple represented royalty. Okay? The third color is orange. What does that green. What does green represent?
like a life.
Life, like new beginnings, like fresh grass growing. How about a feeling?
Jealousy.
Jealousy, green with envy. Okay? Then the next room is orange. What feelings does orange invoke?
Orange.
Warm,
My favorite color.
anger, aggression, maybe. Could be happiness, like sunshine, rays of sun. Okay? White,
Perfectly clean.
clean, pure, perfect. Okay? Violet, deep blue / purple.
That's like a mixture.
The thing that I think of with violet is like the kind of weird color of a bruise when it's in its deepest. So it represents like pain, suffering, darkness, and then at the end, black. Death. Okay, one thing they left out was that the rooms are organized, she said, from east to west. Okay, east to west representing sunrise to sunset, beginning of life to end of life. They said that. The rooms, the prince was a very strange person. Okay? He liked things to be weird. There was, for instance, one person who came to his abbey whose costume had like legs coming out the armholes and feet on his head. He liked weird stuff. The bizarre, the eccentric. So the fact that someone would wear a costume representing the Red Death is taking it just one step too far. Okay, when he built this abbey, boys, when he built this abbey to match his eccentricity, he did not build it as a traditional castle. The corridor in which these 7 rooms were arranged was not a straight passageway. It had sharp angles and turns. And so the hallway that goes through this corridor was not a straight shot. It was turn, 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 turn. Also, while the colors of the rooms, each room has a huge stained glass window that matches the color of the room. And everything in the room is that color. So the blue room has blue carpets, blue drapes, blue furnishings. The purple room has a purple stained glass window with purple carpet, purple drapes, purple furnishings through every room.
Except for
The stained glass window has a candle on the other side, which is flickering, light, creepy, kind of cool, into the room. Like if it's a haunted house, it's cool. If this is where you live, you're weird. Except in the black room, the stained glass window is not black. It's red. So the room is black with a red glow cast
Just
into
like
it.
ours with the wall.
Also, the black room has the most dominant symbol in this story, which is an enormous grandfather clock, which chimes so loudly everyone in the entire castle can hear it. And Prince Prospero brought these people here to escape the Red Death. They're trying to have fun, they're partying, so they drink and dance all day long. But every hour when the grandfather clock chimes, movement
Realmente es
ceases
more.
completely while they wait for the clock to chime. There's no indication in the story how long the people were actually there. But if in fact the Red Death lasts for only 30 minutes, they were there like this. They all died on the first day. But they're welded in, so who's going to find them? No one.